Yeah, my name is Cesar Arellano. I'm 76 years old, strong, still strong, physically fit, but alone. You know how lonely it is when you're alone for so long. I was divorced 30 years ago and never had an attachment or compromises whatsoever. You're asking me about my fondest memory?
Yeah, your fondest memory, your if you have no regrets, a painful memory.
I, things that I cannot forget is when I was a small child, about 6 years old. I was already swimming by the sea, the pristine sea of Leyte, where the typhoon is in now. Yeah, because my mother took a vacation to get away from the war, but she went to the place where General MacArthur landed. So we were stuck up there with my sister and my mother. So when I was a child, I witnessed those typhoons and I was running by the road, looking at the trees that were falling, the trees that were flown away by the wind and the leaves, the banana that falls down and all that. Banana trees, I mean, and the coconut also fell down. My mother would shout, come back, son, come back, son. But I enjoyed it so much. I never had it so good. In fact, my regret is my father should not have taken us away from there because I love nature, I love the love of my mother. But when I got home in Manila from a small house to a mansion owned by my father, who is the #1 architect in the Philippines. But unfortunately, I have already a stepmother that was mean, very mean. That every time I have a good score in school, he would report to my father that I'm not doing good. So I get lambasted to my father, and I decided to run away from home and start at 16 years old, go fishing for a living for my own. I was looking for a job, and it's hard to get a job in Manila at that time. This was in the 60s. So somehow I was lucky that I met a friend who knows somebody that hired seamen to work with a Norwegian or Danish company, Swedish and all that. So I applied for it when I went to Europe free, all over, up to South America, to Africa, everywhere. When you ship, you change shapes as you like, Because I don't like to go home yet, so I boarded a very small ship that is called Tinto. And boy, that storm in the Atlantic Ocean, I thought I had died already, but I'm still there. And then I came back to Manila, 1969. And then in my way to renew my seaman certificate, I met Ambassador William McCormick Blair from Chicago. Can you imagine that?
Oh.
We were on the elevator, the same elevator going down. He said, son, what are you doing here? I said, sir, I'm renewing my seaman certificate to ship out on a foreign vessel. What vessel? Norwegian, Swedish, or Danish vessel. I was on board before already, sir. Is that so? He said. What is your name? I said, Cesar. And who are you, sir? I am William McCormick Blair III, and I'm the U.S. ambassador to the Philippines. I said, oh my God, can I be of service in this war in Vietnam? Please, let me have your name and telephone number. And so next day he called for me to go to Bataan, where the biggest ship, Mount Washington Victory, was there, and I was the first Filipino hired. And then In my R&R, when I get off the ship, I usually go to Thailand. On my way to Laos, where my brother has this Operation Brotherhood, international helping the poor people. So when I am in Thailand, I meet a lot of GI in Raja Hotel. They are so, fun and dancing and everything, shouting. You can hardly hear each other. I love them. I give them drinks like anything, on the house. Knowing that they will die.
Oh.
I don't know. I hope not, but you know very well the statistics. Almost of them died. So I hate war. I hate war actually. When I came here to Chicago, to cut it short, in 1970, I knew that the communists will win Laos already. I was in Laos doing my R&R, volunteered with Operation Brotherhood to help go with the doctors and nurses to outlying areas, helping hygienic things and all that to the people. Then I said that I must leave the place before the communists take over. So I went on a ship, and when we reached Spain, Riuta, I think, what's that? Our Air Force base in Spain. Ruta, Spain. I got off and went to Madrid to attempt to get a visa, but there were so many people on the line, so I said, oh no. So I went to Sevilla,
Oh.
and Sevilla has no line. So I went there. I told the consul general that I've been to Madrid, and I said, how come you didn't get your visa there? Sir, there was too much people on the line. You don't have to fare anything, You have served in the war in Vietnam, so where's your passport? Unlimited stay, in the United States. So I took my flight, go to Chicago. This is just to cut it short. So many stories to be told. And when I'm in Chicago, I attended a mass, a Corsilio, they call it Corsilio by the Catholic. The brother of, who is a priest, the brother of Mayor Deli, he was not the mayor then, was with me in that Corsilio. And I prayed to God what I could do to help our country in the Philippines, which was already millions, thousands and thousands died from the dictator, rapes, disappearance, killing, everything, torture. So I prayed to God, what I can do, and believe me, I think I was answered. I joined the movement for a free Philippines. And at that time, Marcos always released propagandas that all that were against him were communist, and those that doesn't follow his instruction is subversive. So what I did when I was there in Chicago already is organized people and held meetings on number 5 hotels all over Chicago to announce about the movement for the free Philippines. And that changes the thinking, because how can a communist do that? I was driving a Cadillac, I had a Mercedes-Benz, I live on Water Tower, at the back of Water Tower. How can I be a communist? So anyway, I just kept on and on. I was harassed. My house in Niles ransacked, telephone tapped for how many years. And every time a Filipino called me, he dies in the Philippines. I'm not kidding. Even my relatives bombed their house. Yeah, he just called. He said, "Sir, I'm proud of you for what you're doing. Keep it on." And what are you doing, sir? You're not supposed to talk to me. My telephone is stopped. Never mind, he said. I'm doing my civil duty, Cesar. There's so much suffering. It's hard to emphasize, sir. To my surprise, one day I received a letter. Cesar, you're invited as a board, as a member of the board of Congressional to be an advisor of Senate and Congress of United States, and also a panelist to the Strategic Defense Initiative. I said, oh my God, what is this? So you say, this is what I can tell the children, the youth,
Yeah.
that never underestimate yourself. Even if you're not a college graduate, as long as you have a good heart and mind, apply it. What is good for the country? Never be ashamed. Look people straight in their eyes and be brave. When you want freedom and justice restored to any country, you must give it all. You must give it all. Like your Martin Luther King. He did it all